Testing, testing.
It's the Willy Show.
Starting in 5, 4,
3, 2, 1.
So, hello and welcome back to the Willy Show. This is episode 17. I was almost at 16 then, and I literally just said to the boys sitting with me that I'll make sure I won't forget that it's 17. I'm sitting here with two guys who are really massive parts of a community in South Australia, and I guess almost Australia-wide, that has grown massively, and I think is such a good support network for men, and there's very few for men. The Facebook page, what's sort of now becoming almost like a phenomenon, I guess, is called SA Brothers. It's a closed group for men to discuss things that affect men. And I think in this day and age, we have very little that really is just for guys to talk about problems that affect us. And I think it's got a bit of flack because it's like, oh, it's not inclusive. Like, no, but these are problems that affect us, for us. This is all we've got. Leave us alone. So I'm sitting here with, on your right, as you said, with John and Cameron on the left. So, g'day, boys, and thank you for coming on. It's been a while.
No worries,
in the works.
Thanks for having us.
Oh no, absolutely. Everything you guys do, I think, is fucking epic.
Cheers.
And it means a lot to me. Everything, even from exposure for South Australian guys, even for my own charities and everything, has been epic. And the support from all the SA brothers on these, and I've seen a lot of guys. I've seen 3 or 4 gentlemen off your page who have contacted me like, I want to come on your show and share mostly about, I think the most common ones for men tend to be drugs, alcohol, and then depression.
Yep.
Sort of being part of that, they're sort of all mixed in. Like, I drink because I'm depressed because I drink, and it's just a vicious fucking cycle.
Yep.
But I really think what you guys are helping out. I think people almost overcredit me for being like, oh, thanks for giving us the opportunity. I'm like, well, no, if the page didn't exist, I wouldn't know who the fuck you guys are. So thanks, gents. The first thing we sort of jump into is why you started the page and how it sort of got going in the very, very beginning of it.
Yeah. So I think the page went live on 24th of December 2017. So it's only been going 18 months now.
Yeah, just over.
So we had a chat group. We none of us really knew each other. And it started to grow and grow and grow. We thought, well, someone needs to step up and take this to the next level. So I sort of threw me hat into the ring and got the group going. And Cam and a couple of the other boys who are still there today, they sort of come on shortly after and the team to this day still. We knew pretty quickly, like after the first 200, which we were stoked about, started to got to 2,000 and we're like, well, shit, we can really do something, positive here.
Yeah.
And it's just evolved from there.
Yeah, because I guess the beginning of pages like this, I guess, was Bloke's Advice. And I know, there's some people on the page that are pretty outspoken against some of the decisions made by BA, which I know myself, it almost became a bit commercialised.
Yeah.
And it's been like, this page will never become that. It's purely about guys.
That's right. And from day one, we said, we want to be a charitable organisation or a not-for-profit organisation, which we've now achieved finally.
That was going to be my next question. It's only in the past 2 or 3 months you guys have become a registered charity?
No, registered not-for-profit.
No, that's what I meant. Yeah,
so
registered
incorporated association run as a not-for-profit. Yeah, so the next step would be that charity status, but it's like another 8 to 9K worth of lawyers' fees. So we're going to get there eventually, but baby steps. So.
Yeah, and is that being raised through the sale of your merchandise?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is now. Now we're everything's legitimate. Not that it wasn't, but we now have that safety barrier.
It's not just out of some prick's garage.
That's right. Yeah. So everything's going to be going towards that, and whatever else goes straight back into the members itself. So.
Yeah, that's fucking epic. And what about yourself, Cameron? When you guys first started off, how was it sort of getting people to join the page? Was it like inviting blokes you knew from around Adelaide, or?
Basically, we were purely word of mouth in the initial stages, and that's why we were so surprised about the growth we got.
Yeah,
because it just started with a bunch of blokes in a chat, and next thing they started inviting their friends, saying, "Hey, this is rad," and word spread, and it's still probably our main source of like member requests and stuff, are just through word of mouth.
Yeah, because I know I've been on there a few times and just been like, it'll have like the suggested guys. And like, oh, they're my mates from Adelaide. Just like invite. I think half of them like, fuck off, Willy. Stop inviting me to shit. But it is a fantastic support network. And you mentioned you got to that 200 mark and you're like, fuck, we can really do something with this.
Yeah.
Then was it a bit of a slow burner or did it really pick up really quick? And then
It took off pretty quickly.
Did it? Yeah.
Honestly, like to start off with, we were like, well, if we can change one bloke's life, bring one bloke back from the edge, that's probably like that's job done.
yeah,
And now it's countless. Like as you know, like a couple of blokes you've had on your show have said to us like if they didn't come across SA Brothers, then their circumstances may have been different.
oh mate, I couldn't I couldn't feel that more.
And that's
Like,
pretty humbling to hear that. And
Yeah.
like, myself and the team, that's sort of what keeps us going. Like stories like that. Yeah, that's why we do it.
Yeah, fucking oath. And I see that literally, well, not as much as you guys, but I see it daily of, someone will post asking for everything from fucking, I saw one guy, it's like, I bought a new motorbike, whatever it was. I don't know where the fucking fuel cap is. And I'm at the servo through to like, I'm having problems with like family advice or alcohol, drugs.
Yeah.
And pretty much straight away, there's 21,000 members, I'm sure at the moment.
Yeah.
You'll have hundreds of people, or 100 people in the first couple of minutes asking you, or giving advice, asking everything. And I think it's a sort of a fantastic thing. I think men don't have it enough at the moment.
It's not a group that feeds off each other's misery. Like, it's a massive support network that covers most parts of SA.
Yeah, fucking oath.
We do have a low tolerance for people who don't agree with that as well. If people want to be abusive or make jokes when it comes to other people's circumstances, there's a no warning system. You'll just be removed.
Yeah, fucking oath.
And that keeps the group true to our statement.
Yeah, because I feel that there's taken the piss and there's been a prick.
Yeah.
Like, if someone posts a photo and you a bit of banter, that's what it's all about. But yeah, and I have seen that pretty closely with you guys, that if it is a prick act, then fuck off.
Yep.
And I mean, we caught flack either way. So it's hard. It's one of those hard things. Like the last thing you want is a serious post, someone to get on there and troll that post, and then that pushes them to do something that's life changing. That's the last thing you want on your conscience.
Yeah, for sure. And do you guys get many people sort of coming up to you? Like, are you well known as the admins of the group?
Well, I think fairly, yeah, yep.
Oh, like by I mean, like not just by name, but by sort of face, like in the public. Like, hey man, fucking, you're John from SA Brothers. You get that a bit?
I've had a couple of times, yeah. Like I try and keep a pretty low key thing. I'm not a fan of compliments or anything like that. So, but yeah, no, we seem to get spotted every now and then. Yeah,
that's fucking epic. And has it really changed, Cam, how you sort of operate in your everyday life?
Definitely, yeah. Before joining the team, I hadn't really been exposed to this kind of thing before. Came on board and I guess just helping people and knowing what the page was about and just being involved with all the guys that just have all these good intentions just really opened my eyes to this new kind of outlook. And now I spend a significant more amount of my time trying to help others. Just getting something out of giving something to people.
And that is a fucking fantastic thing. And I think about it all the time. I'm like, I don't know where you guys find the time to do it. Like, even just approving posts.
Yeah,
like,
it gets full on sometimes.
There's hundreds a day.
Yeah, oh, fuck. Like, I know this afternoon I put up a post about this, and it was approved within, 5 minutes. And I'm like, that's taken someone that actually approved that through. Like,
yeah.
Holy shit.
And like between all the genuine stuff, there's a lot of stuff that we obviously don't let through. We like Cam said, we try and filter as much as we can to keep it relevant.
Yeah.
Or, we don't want the same thing asked 50 times, or people have a misconception that's just like a buy, swap and sell page sometimes as well, and that sort of stuff. Like it's hard to,
Or you get the questions that people can just Google.
Yeah.
As well.
Oh, yeah. So it's always a bit like that. You do see, and I've noticed you guys updated like your, almost like your info box on it. It was like, you will click here and this is where like all the businesses are throughout the page.
Yeah.
Like this guy's a plumber, an electrician, a mechanic. Like this is where to find those guys.
Yeah. So we want to help as many people as we can, whether that's with how they're feeling with life or just giving them a bit of a leg up, like to get some stuff around the house done or whatever. But,
or employment as well. So that's why we created that business register.
Yeah, so as much as we want to keep the posts on the page relevant to our mission statement, which is, fighting the stigma against men's mental health, we do also create those avenues for people to find employment and advertise their businesses and stuff like that as well.
Yeah. I guess it's all part of it too. Of that. Oh, sorry, bloody beer. Sort of fighting men's mental health is, if people have good employment, good health, all of that, it all can be an external pressure put onto men.
Yeah.
And seeing those hundreds of posts a day, what do you guys think are the main driving factors for the really poor men's health at the moment, like mentally?
I mean, obviously, with the growth we've seen in 18 months, there's obviously we're filling a gap somewhere in the system. There's not enough support for blokes.
Yeah.
Especially in rural areas, there's even less. The money is obviously not being spent in the right spots.
Yeah.
And we're trying to provide that safety net, I suppose, for vulnerable blokes who come into the group until they can get to professional support. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always been a bit of a weird one. Like, I got sort of called out almost a little bit. I was doing a talk the other day in front of a large audience, and at the end it was like, "Oh, do you have any questions?" And literally someone chucked their hand up and was like, "Hey, what do you think we need to change about men's mental health?" And I didn't really have the answer. Like, it's a variety of things, but I wish I had money needs to be spent in this area, because it's such a hard one. And the pressures facing men, I think, are changing. Like the different age groups where you live is significantly different.
Yeah.
And I guess your page having a good support network can actually give. In that 21,000, you're going to have different backgrounds everywhere.
Yeah.
That I may have no idea about someone who lives out in a farm in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I might not be the best one for that. But there'll be someone there.
Yeah.
And that's excellent. I see that.
And that's sometimes all it takes, you just need someone who you can just talk to about a similar situation to you and just know you're not alone.
Yeah.
Someone who you can relate to.
If you're on your way down and you just get stopped by someone and start having a chat, you may not make it all the way to the bottom where you're going to make a bad decision. And that's kind of what we really want to do.
Yeah, fucking oath.
Bring everyone together for the right reasons.
Yeah, and I'm yet to, and I put this as my complete fault, make one of your Thursday night RSL / couple of pub palmy and beer nights. And I can't. The problem is I say I'm busy, but half the time I'm like, oh, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
I really, really need to.
They are a good chance to get out and make some new mates, break up the work week.
Yeah, fucking oath.
And a lot of people put it off for a long time, come out to one, and they regret not coming out earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I told it was Cale Cones. I'm like, I promise you, I'm going to go to one with you.
Yeah.
I'm an outspoken non-fan of RSLs, but I'm a massive fan of SA Bros. I'm like, fuck it, I'll come. I'll swallow my pride for one night, eh? And then I'll end up at all of them as that piss wreck guy. Now, I can't remember for the life of me, but you guys donated a significant amount of support, time, and money and help to. There was like a girl fighting cancer or something. Like a house got broken into or something. I'm not gonna
Jenny with the bike.
Jenny with the bike. Was that it?
She had a bike stolen, yeah.
Yeah.
But we didn't replace it. We just went around there and bought some extra gear, some helmet and stick it up her bike. And
I
sort of
think
stuff.
you're sort of under talking it a lot. I know the help that went into that. I read through a couple of posts. I was like, oh, geez. So what was Jenny's story?
So she was she's disabled.
Yeah.
And she lives like in a house that's it's not a hospital, but it's like a cared for home.
Yeah.
And someone pinched her. They just bought her like a 3-wheeled trike bike.
Yeah.
Someone pinched it from the backyard.
Pricks.
So I think that Northfield, like the prison group there, they replaced the bike. And then myself and a couple of other blokes got a heap of stickers and helmet, bike pump, that sort of stuff. Went around there and sticking it up and gave it to her. So
it's a quite incredible thing. I remember that sort of going down and the page being like, the amount of support lending, and I was like, I guess that was a big one. I was like, look, this is a real community based support network more than a shit talk.
Yeah,
men's
that's
group. Like, of course, there's a place for that. And have you guys thought of moving into like a like bringing on almost like professional counselors or something into the group, or do you find it's just the other guys?
Nah, we are obviously, sometimes professional help is the best course of action in these sort of situations. But we've been talking with a psychologist lately who's keen to come on board and give some direction. So we're going to follow that up.
Yeah, because both of you are like qualified in mental health.
Yeah,
Well, it's
I've
just-
got mental health first aid.
Mental health
We've all
first
done our suicide prevention courses.
Yep.
And we've got another 4 blokes booked in for mental health first aid in August. So
Yeah, so the admins are like
actively doing stuff.
actively
you know,
doing stuff.
yeah.
I think that's incredible. You're not just there to, moderate the conversation or look in. You're actually, you're qualified. You're educated in, signs to look for, and
Yeah.
that's brilliant. And has there ever been times where it's like a 000 case, like, well,
Yeah, a couple of times.
this is going south?
Yeah, we've had to deal with emergency services a couple of times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's sort of your call to action of that?
Yeah, look, it was pretty. We were all at work during the day on both occasions, and we just had to walk out and deal with that. It was pretty, stressful situation.
It's very confronting, and I'm sure you guys have seen a lot of it. Like, I've personally found an online suicide note, and it's almost like, holy fuck, like this isn't real, is it? Like you're posting this on Facebook.
And that's what you think. You doubt yourself. Whether is this going to be? This calling 000? Is this going to be the right decision to make?
Yeah, but I guess it always is if you legitimately.
Yeah.
You're better off being wrong than being right, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And how about yourself, as a young bloke, you're just finishing up your studies. You're talking about before mechanical engineering. Have you thought about moving as an avenue into like more men's mental health, or like almost as a profession? That's a drop shit.
As far as career kind of goes, I'll probably be staying in the industry I am, but once my studies are done, that will free up a lot of time, and I'll probably find that the time I spend weekly will be very equally divided. So I've in the stepping into not-for-profit organisation world, that has meant forming a committee. So I've accepted a role on the committee there. So there is some sort of officialness with that, and we'll have tasks to do, and I will complete them.
Yeah,
Fucking right, you will.
And how's the committee look?
It's only in its infancy. So obviously we got the incorporation certificate back 3 weeks ago now.
Yeah.
Opened the bank account in the society's name. Got the committee, well, the founding committee sorted, which is myself, Jared Wadmore, Cam, and John Koopman. Now we're just opening it up for voting members as well. So, and looking forward, we'll be doing AGMs and that sort of stuff to worry about bigger decisions, I suppose, in the future of where we're headed.
Yeah, and what do you think the future of SA Brothers is holding at the moment?
Like I said, the growth's been pretty rapid. So, I mean, if you go off anything, at the end of this year, we'll be up near 30,000.
Jesus.
So, if not beforehand. But we're looking just extending our reach further and further to help blokes. We're looking at forming a crisis team, holding bigger and better family events, providing, emergency accommodation, food, clothing, that sort of stuff. But all this stuff takes time and resources, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
Which we're currently a bit time poor. Everything's sort of, at the moment, there's a lot going on behind the scenes, so setting stuff up.
Yeah, as we've alluded to, we all work day jobs. We all have families, everything like that. This is all voluntary.
Yeah,
we don't get paid. We are genuine, not for profit. There's no smoke and mirrors there at all. None of the team have ever put a dollar in their pocket from the page. And we've just all volunteered hours and hours and hours a day to make sure this runs smooth and to give blokes avenues to chat.
And I think that is one of the incredible things is, it's a complete non-profit. It's like you guys take home nothing, yet the time, and your own resource you guys put in is massive.
Yeah. We've copped it. Don't you worry, we've copped it. It's people don't think you can do anything good without benefiting from it yourself. That's entirely untrue, as you and we all know. Our time is given because we love doing this. We love helping people out.
Yeah.
That's be all and end all.
Yeah.
I guess most of what we've spoken about has been the positives. We're touching we're getting into the negative side of it now.
We
do cop a lot.
Mate. And I think this is because I remember I cop a lot through my stuff too. I remember, I'm not as big as you guys. I have 13,500-ish followers, and I cop a bit of shit like, oh, you're trying to profit, and I'm like, I run non-profit events. That's it's actually out of my own pocket to run these.
Yeah.
And people have a go like, oh, you're just doing this for your own sort of social clout and shit. And I remember talking to a good mate, who was actually a psychologist, and him saying, no, the problem is you got to remember society we live in today, nothing is free. Like nothing you ever get anymore is free. So when people are actually offered nothing for sale and it's completely free advice, free whatever, they're actually more suspicious than if you were selling something to them.
Yeah.
So I remember, like you say on Instagram, every single photo of a girl or a guy, in the gym or whatever, you click on it, it'll have a tag of, booty works or something for sale. No one blinks an eyelid at that. But if you put up a post on, say, Brothers or my page or something promoting like cancer, it's like, oh, you're just trying to benefit. Because they assume there's an underwritten thing of money somewhere. And I think you guys like selling your shirts, jumpers, hats, all that, people are like, oh, this is going in their pocket, when realistically it's going straight back into the charity for men.
Yeah.
What people don't realise is to do anything, you need money. Without money, we can't do it. Like at the start, we were self-funded throughout the team. Like we were putting our own money in to do stuff. And that, now with 21,000 members, that's just not doable.
It's not feasible at all.
No. So somehow we've got to make money to hold money at arm's length for emergency food accommodation and everything that we said before,
Yeah, for sure. And how's that sort of flack? Does that affect you guys getting that bullshit?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yep.
'Cause,
Every single one of the team, even the ones that aren't getting the direct messages, you're just thinking all the time I'm doing, everything I put in,
Why bother?
it's not getting appreciated.
Yeah.
And then, as we were talking before, the good things makes you want to keep doing it. But then you get the negatives as well, which sometimes, depending on how bad they are, make you question.
Yeah.
The answer we always come to is yes, this is 100% worth doing. But we just want people to understand that, there's no negative intentions here.
Yeah. And I think that is an important sort of thing to put out there that, at the end of the day, and even if it is, someone messaged you having a crack at or you didn't submit a post, well, yes, but, you read through the community guidelines or if it's something you can Google, like it's not you guys being a prick. Like, you guys wish you could, put everything out. But at the end of the day, you're running a page that has to work.
Yeah.
If you let everything through, then the important ones don't.
Well, as the group grows, we have to be dynamic as well. So back when it was 200 members and we'd get 10 posts a day, it's like, oh, so what? You get 10 posts in your newsfeed. It doesn't really matter. Now we're up 21,000 and we might get 600 posts a day. No one in the group wants to really see 600 posts of just everything.
Yeah.
Guys can't get my lawnmower started or like, hey, I'm having a mental breakdown. The important ones will get lost in that. So we have to be dynamic with what we let through and all that, which is a big challenge for us. It's all been a massive, massive learning curve for all of us on the team.
Oh, it's not an easy thing.
And full credit to all the boys. Everyone's taking it in their stride and doing real well, stepping up when they need to.
Yeah. And have any of your guys actually struggled with that? Like sort of being thrust in getting a bit of abuse and being like, no, fuck this, I'm out.
No one's bailed yet.
No one's bailed yet?
Well, I shouldn't say bailed. No one's found it that hard that they had to leave the team.
Might maybe have a day quiet here and there where you may have had some personal attacks made on you, but yeah, as far as bailing, no, we support each other as well.
Yeah, it does get hard. Like I copped a lot of flack over all that money stuff, and a couple of times I thought, well, fuck it, I'm just gonna we'll fold it, And then like Cam said, you get those good stories that come out that really bring you back from feeling like that.
Yeah, I guess it's the silent majority sort of rule, I guess,
Yeah.
That 1%, that loud minority can really ruin it for the other. If there's 100 dickheads, you've got to remember you've got 21,000 other guys.
Yeah.
Even if it's 100, it's less than 1%. It's 0.5%.
Yeah.
Like, there's a silent. They'll always beat those people.
Yeah.
Fuck, man, I cop it for running cancer stuff, and it's like, oh, at what point are we benefiting off this?
Yeah.
Like, sweet, righto. And that's not easy though. And what was the go with the money that people thought you were pocketing it from?
That was just rumors started up, and a couple of people believed it, and it just took off. So we copped a fair bit of hate from it. Ended up producing bank statements and the whole lot. Still wasn't good enough. So we just gave up and moved on.
Just have to give it a bit of a
The
break.
weird thing about it is the people throwing the rocks in the glass house didn't really crunch the numbers either. Like, we haven't made much money as a page. We've had some donations which have covered some important costs with our registering for not-for-profit and stuff like that. But as far as merch sales and stuff have gone, we haven't really made a lot of money. And the page has been running for 18 months. We have a team of 8 people that would put in probably close to minimum 4 hours a day. That's bare minimum 4 hours a day on the page, some even more so. If you were to break that down and split the money we've made over the page, we'd be on less than 5 cents an hour. And they think us profiting from the page, which doesn't happen, is an issue.
Fuck, even if there was, like, to be honest, in my opinion, even if there was some kickback, personally, I wouldn't give a fuck. Like, you know, to be honest, people's time isn't free. Like, and I know you guys are doing it for free, but I think a lot of people would agree that if you guys were like, look, yeah, we pay each other $5 an hour, that people be like, yeah, fucking fair enough. You know, without you guys, that support network doesn't exist.
But without that, we can always fall back to our intentions being true, and people can actually trust us a bit more. And that's ultimately the goal of the page.
Yeah, and that's how we've spread so far, like word of mouth. You know, because we're so solid. You know, we're not just we're not here for 5 minutes. We've been here for 18 months, and we've it's grown to 21,000 blokes.
Well, if you think though, 18 months is not very long.
No,
like,
it's better growth than businesses. You know, some businesses.
Yeah, fucking oath. Normally people crawl along for years before you really get anything. If you think 18 months, it's like 500 days. You're getting hundreds of followers a day.
Yeah, and we still haven't made our major break. We haven't been like massively publicised on huge media outlets and stuff. The Triple M radio interview was the closest we've had to media attention in the duration of the page, really.
Why do you think that is?
Maybe, no, this is my personal opinion, not that of SA Brothers, but it could be speculating that like media companies won't be getting anything out of advertising us because we don't really have anything to give them. We support the members of the page and stuff, and they won't directly get anything out of it. It's only a spitballing idea, but it's a hard 2 dots to connect why they won't help us out.
Yeah, it's a weird one.
We've contacted a few people from media outlets, but that Triple M gig was the only one we luckily got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That just
and that was
doesn't...
because they were only doing Mental Health Week, that week, so it tied in well.
It just doesn't seem, correct. Like, guys at our age bracket that, we all sit... Well, I'm just assuming how old you guys are, but we all sit between that 18 and 35-year-old bracket, of course. And we are more likely to kill ourselves than, anything. Like you shit we think is dangerous, mountain biking, driving cars and whatever.
Yeah.
The most dangerous thing you can do as a man of our age is live. Like, the biggest danger is yourself. And I sort of think, the media support should be all over what's helping men.
Yep.
And I feel it's almost like this is my opinion, there's almost a stigma against, like, oh, it's sexist, it's about men. But it's like, well, let us have one thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, a lot of us, and I think a lot of guys in the group would almost feel like, well, but this is all we have. Like, let us have this. Like, don't take that away from us. Because I remember in the beginning of Blokes Advice, and I know you guys aren't, some of us aren't fans, at least myself. But they copped a lot of shit about it was a sexist group, whatever else.
Yeah.
And have you guys do you think that might be a thing of media?
No, like Cam said before, like we monitor it pretty heavy with that sort of thing, racism, sexist, anything like that. No time for it at all.
Yeah. But I'm meaning more from that it's men only.
From the outside. Yeah. We haven't come across any issues. Well, no one's said anything to us like that.
Definitely had females request to join, and part of us, trying to get a good name for ourselves, we will actually message them and explain the situation in kind words, and everyone's been very receiving to that. No one's actually kicked up a stink, and they fully understand what we're doing.
A lot of those females that have tried to join want to join so they can get information for their partners.
Yeah.
So like Cam said, they've been messaged, a bit about us and why it's a blokes only page for, to provide that safe space. But they obviously see an issue at home and they think, well, they've been told about SA Brothers. I'm going to try and get my partner down this avenue. So
Yeah, and that's really good. I guess, their whole thing is we'll get your partner on the group, isn't it?
yeah.
And part of the support network. It is a pretty incredible thing.
That is just our private page as well. We do have the open public page, which is open for anyone to like and engage with. Any events or anything that's posted on that can be attended by anyone, kids, women, men, anyone, all ages, all sexes.
And what's that one called?
That's SA Brothers Incorporated.
Oh, actually,
So we need to differentiate the two. Because obviously, SA Brothers Incorporated is separate to the SA Brothers Facebook page. It's a different entity, but a lot of people don't know that because we only got 3,000 odd followers on there, and they don't differentiate the two.
Yeah,
but
that's fantastic. And there are any big events coming up in the next couple of months? You do?
We're looking at doing one in August quickly in the city, like another city meet. Other than that, it'll be the family day at the end of the year.
Yeah,
so probably late November.
Yeah, that's brilliant. And I see one of the really things I like with the group is you guys do, and I've seen you do it a lot, John, is the anonymous posts for guys. So if there is something someone feels uncomfortable asking, putting their name to it, you'll actually do it for them.
Yeah, which adds that, extra level of protection in that safe space sort of thing.
Yeah.
So they just message us directly, we post on their behalf and then send them a link to that so they can monitor the responses. So
it's a pretty incredible thing. I've had a couple of guys ask in the comments here of sort of the best stories, or any stories that really stand out to you guys that have come out of the group as far as really thought, fuck, this is changing lives.
Many.
You can go first, Keith.
Many. I mean, just even generally, because you get the same sense of satisfaction out of each of them. But when someone contacts you directly, and you just start having this bond with them, and you keep checking up on them, like it happens pretty regularly. All the admins get personal messages of someone saying, "Hey, I'm just about to leave the page and ready to check out." And you start talking to them, and then you just keep chatting. Days go past, and days go past, and days go past, and then they're still around, and you're chatting, and you've made a friend, and you just know you're making a positive impact in their life. And I don't think there's really much of a better feeling than that.
And are there any that stand out, specific ones? You don't need to go into too much, but I don't want to dox anyone.
I think Cam himself, when we first met Cam, he was, pretty socially anxious and much like myself still.
Yeah.
But, completely different bloke, and now he's on the team. He's changed his outlook on life. It's incredible. We're all good mates on the team. Leroy as well, like he said the other week, if he hadn't have found SA Brothers, his outcome might have been different. He's a great bloke, and now on the team as well.
Yeah, Leroy's a recent one to the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking legend.
So we sort of we're obviously going to need to expand the team a bit as we grow. So we've got people earmarked, that show those values. They're constantly at events and that sort of stuff, consistent on the page. People we have the same mission, I suppose, as we do.
Yeah. And have you thought, you mentioned, Kim, you sort of grew up a bit, so to speak, from the page. I guess social media, it was sort of thrust in, these are real scenarios. Did you find it was pretty intimidating, those, and this is sort of actually for both of you, pretty intimidating, those first few things? It's pretty scary if someone's like, I'm going to kill myself.
Yeah.
Very much so.
You guys might be the one they've messaged. You might be the only person they've messaged on that.
Yeah, that's been the case a couple of times. You kind of nearly don't feel like it's real, but you can't take the chance. You have to act as if everything's real and be 100% serious as you go into it, and just make sure they're all right. And if things do need to go south, then we do call on emergency services.
I think that is a good thing to act on that straight away as you need to. And have you guys ever seek for yourselves any support of because I'm not sure if you've dealt with, personally, if guys that haven't pulled through from it.
Touch wood, not yet.
Touch wood, not yet. Yeah. Well, fucking, I'm touching wood now. That is, I think that actually speaks volumes for the page. I've had 3 guys on my show, particularly, that have been like, if it have literally been like, if SA Brothers wasn't there, I would have fucking would have done it.
Yeah.
Can
Would have
also
checked out.
testify to that.
So
I can also testify to that,
yeah,
which is why I'm now on the team, giving back to a page that gave me so much, gave me my life back.
really.
Very much so.
Do you want to expand on that a bit if you're comfortable to?
Yeah.
Like I'm not trying to be a prick, but yeah, if
It's
you
never
want,
really
yeah.
been a public story for things, but yeah, why not while we're here?
Time's yours, man. Floor's yours.
I'll give the short version. Suffered like arguably the worst event in my life. Mid to late 2017, when the Facebook page, the SA Brothers was just a chat in a Facebook chat with less than 200 members in it. Kind of reached out publicly to the chat when I reached my lowest point, and I got support from guys whose names I'd never met, people I'd never heard of, people I just didn't know at all. Just got an influx of support, and just slowly over time they just kept checking up on me and kept inviting me out places, and I started to feel human again. And then once I kind of came out the other side a bit, like, you still have your dark days every now and again. You always will when something impacts your life like that. But no, the team and the page in general has brought my life back to how it used to be, so I can operate like a human again. I don't have to lock myself in my room and hide away. Don't have to lie to people and say I'm okay. Sometimes I can actually genuinely say I'm okay.
Yeah. And were you part of that, John?
I don't know, was I? Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John was, yes.
I've known Kim, like I said, from the start. So
We've become quite good mates.
But you guys
through that.
became friends through SA
Yeah.
Brothers?
Yep.
Fuck, that's a bit of a testimony, isn't it? Yeah, and that you were sort of one of the brothers, so to speak, who needed help in the very early stages, and then 18 months on, look where we are now. That's
same with the rest of the team, really.
Yeah.
We all have our own stories. And at the start, we were all bouncing assistance of each other to get through. So.
And what about yourself? Was there a major turning point that thought I need to start my own sort of baby as the group?
Like I said, when the chance came up to really make something of it, I sort of seized it. I had a pretty average car accident in 2016.
By average,
Sorta.
you mean like,
I hit a tree at 100 k's an hour.
oh, Jesus.
Like, flipped my ute right over.
Oh.
Got out of it pretty well, but sort of put things into perspective. Like, I really wanted to actually do something with my life, like on the side of helping people. So
Yeah.
when this chance came up, I seized it.
Yeah, I think that is a quite incredible thing. Like you say, your group or your sort of admin team, I guess, that they all have their own story of how they got in there.
Yeah.
It's not a voted position. It's not a rite of passage. It's, everyone's there to look after each other.
That's right. Yeah.
And I think probably your one, Cam, that really touched me as far as like, you've almost, I don't want to say risen up, but you've come from someone seeking help to now being able to have that involvement to help others.
Yeah, I kind of felt not necessarily obliged, but I wanted to help. I wanted to use my negative and turn it into a positive, because if I kept it as a negative, it'd just dwell on me forever.
Yeah.
If I can turn a negative into a positive, I'll become a better person through it.
And it's not the negative, I guess, it's the experience too.
Yeah.
Of you have the experience of you've been there.
Yeah.
And you can almost be like, well, mate, if you're talking to a bloke, like, mate, I've been there. I have tied that fucking rope, metaphorically. Like, fuck, mate, talk to me. Like, it gets better.
Yeah.
And you found that helps you a lot.
Definitely. And everyone in the admin team has a different story. So we're quite diverse. So we've got
Range of different backgrounds,
Yeah.
and ages, which is important, I think.
Would you mind sharing some of those guys?
Yeah,
as
so
far as,
we've
like,
got Daniel Rawson, who's a plumber. We've got John Koopman down south, Jared Wadmore, Adrian Buring, Jared Cutting, Craig Howard, myself, and Cam. I've forgotten anyone else.
Well, Leroy as well, which I
Leroy,
mentioned.
yeah.
He's a new
Leroy.
addition.
Yeah, Leroy's in now. He's saying the same reason I'm there. I've got to give back and help others walking where I have.
Yeah,
I think that's pretty true for you. And you've had most guys in that sort of immediate team have been through those major struggles and feel like almost they need to now give back.
Yeah. So either they've been in, they've had suicidal thoughts, or they've been in a position where someone in their family or close to them has had mental health issues like that.
Or even if they haven't, it just gives them another angle to come at some problems with.
Yeah.
So, you know, we have a very diverse team. We have young guys, we have old guys, we have people who have suffered from mental health, we have people who have maybe not suffered from it so much. And just gives us a lot of angles to look at some problems and, just basically try and help as many people as we can.
Yeah. No, it's a fantastic thing, lads. It's I think it is changing for Australian men. I think, none of us really know exactly what's causing men to have such struggles.
Yeah.
But the answer definitely lies within men getting together with other men. 100%.
And talking about it.
And talking about it. Yeah. And I think there's nothing better than blokes getting together as guys and chatting about it. And that probably the biggest influence one I had of like that was I ran over Christmas time. It was called Willy's Brew with a Crew, and literally all it was. And this is another one I got flack for being a completely free thing. Well, and I was 3SA Brothers as well. Like, hey lads, I've booked like a fucking big table down at one of the cafes in Henley. Anyone who wants to come down, it's me and a couple of other guys, and we're just there having coffees all day. If you want to come, and people were like, "Oh, like you're like a church group or some shit," and it's almost the same shit. I was like, "No, I'm not trying to sell you anything. It's just this." But the 20, 30 people that rolled through on the day at Christmas time's fucking hard for people.
Yeah.
For a variety of reasons.
Yeah.
And I'll probably see on your groups the most amount of stuff around that time.
Yeah.
I think for my small part of, I was like, "Fuck, it's a good thing," and I think it feels good to be part of it. And you guys are, a major part of South Australia and the Met.
Yeah, well, that's as John said before, the initial thing was if we can save one person's life, then the page is working. And now I guess just want to save as many lives as we can until that suicide rate drops to 0.
Yeah.
Be the ultimate goal.
Yeah, fucking oath. It's
and help out everyone else while we can, or anyone else that's that needs it while we can.
And I guess it's a massive ripple effect, isn't it? You've got 21,000 active followers or 21,500, but those men are gaining tools, I guess, to then help their extended networks as well. Yeah. And has there been any talk about that of like almost having, or you mentioned before, a psychologist?
Yeah.
And would they be more of a sort of admin team, making posts of giving guys tools to then be able to like self-help, self-diagnose?
Yeah, it'd be something similar like that. So we want to form a crisis team. Like at the moment, we're pretty under the pump as it is.
Yep.
But we do all that sort of stuff. We're the first point of contact with vulnerable people. We're doing all the posts. We're doing the membership stuff. We want to form a team that's solely about that first sort of start up with someone who messages the group, whether they're suicidal or they're just having a shit day. And then that team will determine what the best course of action is. Whether they need to contact Triple O straight away, whether they just need a chat or, and do it like that. Because like I said, we're growing too rapidly to remain what the setup as we are, I suppose.
Yeah.
We don't want to miss anything. We just want to be able to provide as much assistance as we can. So.
And has there ever been cases of like, a post will go through seeking help where you don't let the post go through to the page, but you contact them directly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
a lot of them.
Yeah. Or we contact them first and then release it as well. Because obviously you're going to be giving them positive thoughts, but when they see 100 people jump on there as well on their comment or on their post, they're like, shit, people do care. Yeah, there is people out there that have been in my position that want to help me.
Yeah.
It's not just these blokes talking smack,
Which is fucking part of it, though. It's like I'm reading through some of the comments occasionally on there and I piss myself laughing.
Yeah. But there's always, you got to have time for banter. You got to have time for a laugh.
You have to break it up, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that is important for guys too, to be able to, have a bit of laugh themselves too.
Yeah.
If you post something stupid. Like, well, not something stupid, but, it's just banter. Like, like we mentioned earlier on, there's banter and there's banter for fucking prick.
Well, we can't help everyone ourselves. We're a small team with a big group, so we need to keep members engaged with the page, which is why we do events and have that little bit of banter on the page to keep people around to actually help people.
And it's not just us helping the members; it's members helping members as well.
They're a massive part of it. So. You get one bloke message saying, your life's going to be all right, mate. You may not believe it. You get 100 people, your phone's just going off. notification after notification, and they're all giving you support, you'll feel like a different person.
Yeah.
Without the members, there'd be no group. So.
Yeah, we are nothing without them.
Yeah, almost hoping it gets to the point where it slows down for you guys personally and the members fucking take over. We're kicking them off the page, boys. No, that's epic, lads. I'll just give a quick call out. If there's anyone in the comments who has any questions about, directed at both of you, absolutely send them through. Most of the time at the moment, everyone's at yourself, John, for not having a mustache.
Oh.
Speak of that,
maybe
family
November. Maybe November this year.
Yeah. And have you had much for the dry July? Got much for the
I
page?
think collectively, with all the members on the team, I think it's close to $6,000.
Fuck, that's all right.
So that's between the members on the page and then outside as well.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good collectively. Like last November, we did Movember, and I think we raised $3.5 grand between us. So yeah, we're doing push up.
Yeah, the push-up challenge.
Push up challenge. Yeah, at the moment.
Which one's that?
Push for better. Is it push for better mental health? Is that what it's?
Yeah. Basically, you just do 3,128 push-ups in 21 days, which is the amount of lives lost in 2017 due to mental health-related illnesses. So each day you do an amount of push-ups, which represents a statistic. And yeah, so a couple of the boys on the admin team and one other guy have been representing SA Brothers. Have a few members on the team as well.
Yeah. That's fucking epic. You'd be able to fucking big chest bone in that. Jesus. 3,000. I was trying to work it out in my head. 3,000 push-ups in 21 days.
Yeah, they average at about 170 a day.
I was going to say, yeah, something like that. Jesus, that's not... I'm out. I'm not in. Nah, that's awesome, boys. Look, I think we've covered a lot. Is there anything you guys have sort of come that we haven't gone over?
Don't think so.
Like, I don't want you guys to walk out the door and go, fuck, Willy,
No.
I forgot about this.
Can you think of anything, Jim?
No, just maybe to anyone watching the stream or that maybe watches it as a playback, if you have any queries about the page or, what we do, where we're going and all that, if you actually wonder, just hit us up. We're all very open.
Yeah.
Anyone on the admin team or put a poster on the page. We're very open. We try and engage with the members as much as possible. We'd rather give you guys the cold hard truth than have you speculate about it.
Yeah. As we've seen before with SA Brothers, the speculations are mostly wrong, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what we'd like to do. The less negative kind of flack we get through it, the more positive we can do because we don't dwell on the negatives.
Yeah. Oh, fucking oath. And I sort of put myself out there, for SA Brothers to you guys. If there's anyone as far as, wants any information, particularly about, cancer, and that's with, the other side of being like if you're a partner as well, that you can reach out through me, through SA Brothers, or, personally is fine. Facebook's not good for me. Like Instagram's better. Yep. And that's you guys. If you ever, just feel free to tag me in whatever. I'm happy to help out where I can. Because that affects men a lot. And I think I think a lot of what affects men, even from down to health, fitness, everything comes down to, it affects their mental health. It's a terrible thing. And I've seen a lot of guys, mostly actually lately, some guys have been losing like massive amounts of weight and they've been like, I feel so much better in myself. And I think that has a massive influence on it too.
Yeah.
On everything. And I think you guys are really, with having a big network, pulling guys together to help out.
Yeah. All sorts of different people from different backgrounds for, common cause. So
yeah, in the day we're all just fucking blokes, aren't we?
That's it.
Yeah. Also, if anyone out there does need help, please contact us. Contact the page. Anyone on it.
24/7.
Yeah. There'll always be someone on 24/7.
Yeah.
Well, this is episode 17 of The Willy Show with John and Cameron from SA Brothers, South Australian Brothers page. You don't need to be South Australian to join. You just need to be a bloke who's willing to help out. And if you're not a bloke or you're a partner, there's SA Brothers Incorporated.
Yeah.
So for those in particular, the people in the live stream who've helped me out with a lot of the questions and direction of this, thank you for being on. Yep. And for anyone who's listened, Spotify, Google Play, or Google, whatever it fucking is, and YouTube after this, thank you so much. And a personal thank you for you guys for what you're doing for men in the community. I think everyone's lost more than one good mate to suicide. And I think pages and movements like your own are helping out more than you might even think. So thanks, lads.
Thanks for having us, mate.
Thank you.
Oh,
Appreciate
absolutely, anytime, boys. And yeah, so if there's any brothers that have listened to this and you think, you have a story or whatever that you actually want to bring across on the show, either contact me directly, Matt Williams or Willy Beanie Cancer on Instagram. Instagram's probably the best for me because I get flooded on Facebook. Or if you reach out to one of these guys, you'll be able to find me. And I'm willing to literally have anyone's story on here. I think, everyone has their own unique story that's fucking awesome. So feel free to reach out there. And again, thanks to you guys, and get on SA Brothers and support local business and